the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Carolina Panthers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Mike.
180.
55, Mike.
Regular. Hurry. General West.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On second down, it's Hunt. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the gun, Mayfield. Got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
First down.
Protect. 180. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Hurry. Point it right. My touch.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go again. Back 55.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Pilot, 64, weak.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
He went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
At their own 14-yard line.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, let's get some penetration here.
Out of the gun, Newton. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Mack Wilson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
3rd and long. It's Newton. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Sione Takitaki make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Now Landry. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Mayfield looks to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. 27 yards there, a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now they try the right side here. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Set. 180.
Watch the curve.
Up, jump.
They'll run it now at the gun. And he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
We're scoreless after one. Third and short yardage, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Slam.
Great.
McCaffrey following the penalty. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 22-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
20.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Ready? Go, 180.
Check back 33. Let's go, D. Mike, check 33.
From the gun, here's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows to 10-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do they do?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there for Carolina. 44 yards.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
You ain't got nothing.
Check 9.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play.
Check.
8.
They'll run Anderson, and he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
And goal at the 1-yard line.
Second and goal from the 1.
You better be afraid of me.
Gun. Check 3. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
It's a loss of 4. Brings up third and goal.
So backed up to the 6 now. Third and goal. A shotgun snap for Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Hurry!
On first and 10, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
You draw quarters.
Kill. Turn it.
Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
22-jet bombers. 22-jet bombers.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
180.
54, Mike. I got you.
Real. Regular.
54, Mike.
Hurry.
Check. Watch 54.
Greystone, travel. Hurry.
Mike 5-4.
Watch out.
Now on 2nd and 13, Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Landry, the intended target. 3rd down here.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Mayfield. Finding some room at midfield. That one is caught by Hunt. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
180.
54. We got it.
Point it right. Watch.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. The tackle there by George Odom. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen. Pass.
Check. Run. Watch out.
Mayfield to throw it. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 23.
It's a gain of 20. 1st down, Browns.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Keep playing.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create